move on to database trigger, so notification. Okay, that's the table one is some application inserting the data. Okay, whenever it's inserted, the same record I wanted here also in the table 2. Okay, or if any record is updated, I want that record to be created as a new row. Okay, in the table 2. Okay, so in that case, we use triggers on database level. Triggers. There are many useful features of these triggers. One is, suppose I have inserted the record here. That newly inserted record, I want in this table so that I can read the data, I can do some logic. Okay. Whenever data is updated in this table, that newly updated table record, newly updated row or record. Okay. If it's inserted in this table too, I can read the data and I can do some kind of a operation, or I can do something with that data. Okay. So in that case, in Oracle, there is a concept called trigger. Okay. Is it clear? Sure, you're asking something. Okay. So in database level, we'll have a trigger. Okay. This is very good feature in Oracle, MySQL, and any database. Okay. Now this thing, extended instead of not just table to, when we are inserting a trigger, creates a data that updated or created data in the database table. The triggers are also can call external service. Call external service means, let's say I have a REST service. Okay, REST service. The moment this application, any application is writing the data, we create a trigger. That trigger will call the database REST application, REST API on HTTP protocol. Okay, so that like some data is updated here, we'll get a notification. Okay, some kind of a notification. Is that clear? Okay, so till so far what we did is we learned insert into database, query the database. Correct? We are writing like a select star from table. We are executing on the table to get the data. Correct? But I want like this. If someone is updated this table, my flow service should be triggered. Okay, our flow service. This is flow service. Should be triggered. Okay, so any record is inserted. Let's say I inserted one record in the table. The moment it's inserted, I want a trigger to my flow service. Okay, with that data. Okay, whatever data is inserted, the data I want in the flow service, so that I can do some kind of a manipulation, transformation, whatever business logic involved with the data I can do. Okay, clear? So this called as database adapter notification. Are you getting? Adapter notification. Adapter notification in the sense, whenever any application or any, it may be WebMethods or it may be any other application, whenever inserted, updated or deleted data in this table, a notification will be sent to flow service saying that, hey, this record is inserted. Okay, the way you configure, whenever inserted, you want a notification. So it involves, hey, this notification, this record is inserted. If you write a notification handler like update, you will get an update notification. Is that clear? What is DB notification? Okay. So I will explain this one with a practical so that you can understand what is happening. Okay, let's say I have a table called customer table. Let's say I will create a student table. Okay, use web method. Okay, I want to use this web method. Okay, database. Okay, now I'm creating a table called create table student. Okay, whenever student is inserted, I want a notification. Okay, student. Okay, student ID will be there, int. Okay, name, it's a varchar of 20. I'm saying, okay, now primary key. So whenever primary key, it's a must. Okay, so in case of database notification, primary key must. Okay, so I can create like primary key is this ID is my primary key. Okay, so I created a table. Okay, so now I know how to insert the table. Insert into student ID, comma, name, values of, that's a one is student name, so Shiva. Okay, I use like now inserted to the record. Okay, let's checking data is inserted now. Let's start from student. One record is inserted, but this is already inserted. Okay, but next time when I insert any record, it should trigger my flow service. Yeah. So second record is there is no data inserted. That's what it's showing now. Okay, only one record is inserted. So it's the end. Basically, this tool is showing us end of the record. Okay, no record is inserted. Clear, right? Okay. So whenever previously what we did is we used select star from table. We executed the query from web method flow adapter services.
Yes.
You remove, yeah, and we inserted the data into database using adapter services. Okay, now we are querying the like no we insert in data into this table. I need a notification. Whatever the data is inserted, I want that data in my web method so that I can use it. Okay, first we'll go through the use case development and then I will come back and explain how it works. It will go to Studio Designer. Okay, so customer student notification. I'm doing a student notification. Okay, is package. Okay, now student folder, student notification is my folder. Okay, I will create another folder called notify. Notify is my folder. Notify is already there. Okay, notification. Let me create a notification folder. Under student, notification is there. Okay, now what I am doing is like I will create a adapter notification. Okay, so I'm creating an adapter notification. Student notify. So whenever a student is inserted, I want a notification. Okay, so I'm selecting the database adapter. So here, these are things you have to remember. Okay, so I think adapter notification, adapter services also we have a template. You remember what are the templates are there?
Yes.
I told you this is very important. One question will come from templates.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So we have insert, update,
Update.
delete, custom SQL, dynamic SQL, store
Batch.
procedure. Yeah, batch also. Yeah, all batch insert, batch update, batch delete, store procedure with signature. You remember?
Yes.
Store procedure with signature. Okay, we have those many templates. Here also we have similar, like insert notification. If any record is inserted into database, I need a notification. My flow service should be triggered. Okay, that is nothing but insert notification. Update notification. Whenever a database table is updated, I need a notification. That's a update notification. Delete. Whenever a record is deleted from the table, I need a trigger. My flow service should be triggered. Okay, basic notification. This is very important. Okay, one question will come from here. Basic notification. Okay, I will explain. Even that guy also training also he explain later. I think if you heard, remember. Okay, he also says like no, wait, I will explain later. Okay, I'm also going to do the same. Okay, so procedure notification. Okay, order notification, store procedure notification with signature. Okay, so these are there. Anyone knows like what is the difference between store procedure? Even if previous also there is a template store procedure with a signature. What is the difference between store procedure with a signature? Any idea? Okay, so in adapter services, can you meet Shiva? Okay, yeah. So in adapter services also we have store procedure. Okay, we have store procedure. Let me write it. Store procedure. Store procedure. Stored. Okay. Store procedure. Okay, and store procedure with signature. Okay. The only difference between store procedure and store procedure with signature is in store procedure which will not have input parameters, output parameters. Store procedure is nothing but a kind of a function. Okay, in database, it's a kind of a function. I think you know store procedure. Did Ramna explain store procedure? No, right?
Also.
Okay. Okay. So store procedure is kind of a function in database. Okay. Every function you know, right? Input output will be there. Correct? So store procedure also will have input output. In case of this software AG, what this says is if you use this template, store procedure template, okay, you won't have input output. Okay. If you use this store procedure with signature, you will have input parameters and output parameters. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is one question will come. If you want, you can note it down. Store procedure, this template, store procedure template. Okay. And store procedure with signature template. Okay. So there won't be any input and output parameters.
Or output.
Okay. Sorry, Anusha, you're saying?
I'm saying that definition only, sir.
Yeah. So, okay. We'll have input and output parameters. Okay. So that is the difference. Here also, store with notification. Okay. We'll have no input parameters, no output parameters, but this will have input parameters or output parameters. Okay. So now we have a table called student table. when student table is inserted, any record is inserted in student table, I want a trigger. Okay, so I'm going to use insert notification. When I click a notification, right, it expects a database. I'm selecting the database. Okay, this published document. So you have to know. So this flow service, right? Whenever any record is inserted in this table, okay, it triggers a flow service with that data, and this flow service only can publish on JMS or universal messaging. Are you getting? Is that clear? So if I inserted a record in database, okay, it will notify to our flow service. Okay, that flow service only can publish on JMS or universal message. Okay, now the published document. So document will be publishable document will be created. That publishable document only can be published onto WebMethods messaging or JMS. Okay, I click finish. What I did first, are you getting? Okay, I will go to the table, student table. Now it's selected the table. Okay, so some issue was there. Okay, now student table, you can browse the table also. Okay, now then I'm going to, so I'm not configuring here. There is one question here also. Definitely this is a question, but I will tell you. Okay, so a table is there. We selected a table, joins we are not doing. Now select. I'm selecting all the columns which I wanted from the database. This you know what to select. Okay, it's the same as adapter services. Okay, now if I go to adapter settings, right? Okay, as I mentioned, yeah, this there is a, if whenever you insert a record in the table, it's triggering the flow service. So that trigger will be this flow service. This is a student is a trigger. Okay, and it publishes whatever the data is there, modified or updated, inserted. That data it publishes onto either publish on JMS or universal messaging. You got it right? So publish documents to universal messaging or JMS provider. So I will select publish onto universal messaging, WebMethods messaging. Okay, the default connection is whatever the connection is there in our integration server, that is shown here. You can select, you can browse also different. Everyone clear about this one? Hello? Okay. Anisha, Jashwant, clear? Whatever
Yes,
I'm
sir.
explaining. Okay. Now
Yes,
we'll go to the notification configuration. So here this buffer table, trigger table is there, right? You need to give the base name, some base name. STU, let's say I given student 1. Okay, if I click here, web method student 1, this buffer table is created. Okay, what will happen now? In database, buffer table will be created. Okay, if I go here, I refresh my table. Okay, so when we start, at that time buffer table will be created. Okay. Okay, so how buffer table will be created is, so how it works is, so for this table, right, there will be one more table will be created. Let's call it as buffer table. Okay, actually, so this is main table. Okay, whenever we insert the record in this database, right? Okay, there will be trigger will be created automatically on the database table. So whatever the changes happen, that data will be pushed to the buffer table. Okay, our adapter, this adapter notification service actually receives the data from this buffer table. Okay, and publishes message onto publish JMS or universal messaging. Once it is published, it will go and delete that record from the buffer table. Are you getting what is happening here? adapter notification. So I want our requirement is if someone is updating this database table, okay, someone is updated. What are the latest? What are the record is inserted or updated? That record I want on publish on CMS or universal messaging. That is the requirement. Is that clear? Okay. So during this process, we will create a buffer table that will be created by WebMethods. That's automatically it will create the buffer table. So buffer table trigger this automatically creates. Okay. So how it creates? If I give base name as stdu some base name, which if I'm not giving this one, what is the value? WMB. Okay. Some number is there. Are you getting? So student, if I give student one, trigger will be like this. WM after the whatever the base name is given with some key, it will create a buffer table and trigger. Okay, that is the question. If my base name is let's say ABC, what will be my buffer table name? Are you getting question? If my base name is std1, so let's say st1. See, WMB, it is WMB is buffer table, web methods buffer. Okay, WMT is web methods trigger. Okay, and the base name, whatever the base name is there, it will come and some ID will be there. Okay, this one is clear, right? So because this is a question which no, this ID is a random. If you create one more notification, this ID will be randomly generated. BRKQUEK2 is there, right? That is a random number. Okay. WM is standard. WMB. WMB is buffer table. WMB and the base name, whatever the base name we are giving, that base name and key whatever is there, right? Randomly generated, that will be there. Okay. Trigger name will be WMT and base name, whatever is there, this one. So these two tables will be created in this table will be created in the database and trigger will be created in the database with that name. Are you getting? Okay. stdud. Okay. Like this I created. So when I run this one, executed at the time, right now if you see there is no tables are created, only student table is only there. Okay. Now what is happened is we created a adapter notification service. This adapter notification service is created. How we created? Right click and adapter notification. Then we said like which table to be. We have to see whenever the recording is inserted, I need notification. The student is a table. Whenever is record is inserted, I wanted notification. So I select the table. Then I went and select a column. I selected the column. Then adapter services. So we know that whenever trigger is happened, okay, this adapter notification will publish a message onto topic, publish a message onto CMS provider or universal messaging provider. Okay, so we configure that CMS message provider. Then we came back to the notification. So base name, whatever the base name we give with that, so buffer table will be created. WMB, base name and random generated key. Trigger will be created, WMT and base name and a random key. Is that clear so far? Okay. Now let me see my universal messaging running. No, let's start. Now I'm going to my integration server. Okay. I'm going to the adapter. I'm selecting this adapter. Okay. If you can see this polling notification is there. Okay. Click on this polling notification. The one we created it will be there, student. Okay, we just created. Everyone got it, right? So now I'm edit this schedule. Okay, to 10. So some polling interval I'm giving. Okay, image. No, you can give any number. 20 also I can. Okay, I will select. Okay, and then I'm enabling. Okay, I enabled. Okay, so once I enabled, right, now if I go to here, student the table, see one table is created, buffer table. This is a buffer table, we call it as. Okay, so whenever any record is inserted in this table, that record will be copied to here in this buffer table. Okay, using a trigger. Okay, the trigger is also created by WebMethods. Okay, and the message will be published onto universal messaging. Okay, now I'm going to insert a record now. Let's say I'm inserting a record. Previously one record is there. Now I'm inserting insert into student ID comma name value 2 comma giri. Let's say. Okay, I'm inserting one record. I know I inserted two records, one record more. Okay, I can see the second record is there. Now, if I go to my, we know like what will happen. First, this record will be copied to buffer table. From buffer table, this flow service will be triggered and published onto JMS, right? I can go and check my buffer table if the data is there in the buffer table or not. Okay, first I'm checking that. Select start from buffer table. Okay, what is saying this buffer table is, so the moment I inserted into this table, the record is copied to this buffer table. So data is there. Okay, and it is processed this time. Okay, WMC time, and it is published onto my universal messaging. Whatever is there, right? It publishes. Are you getting the concept first? So the moment we insert into database, okay, so moment is inserted, database buffer table will automatically created, okay, and flow service will be triggered and publishes a message onto JMS or universal messaging, the way configure. I can create another trigger. So once the message is there on JMS, what we'll do, we know, right? If I wanted to receive the message from JMS, we need to create a trigger service and handler. Remember it, trigger and handler. So we'll create a trigger and handler. Okay. So similarly, previous whatever these. So I'm creating a handler service. Okay. Now we know like we are publishing onto WM public, right? Sorry, universal messaging, WebMethods messaging. We are publishing onto. So handler should receive document type. So this is a document. It's automatically created, right? The document I'm copying. The document is created. I'm copying the document. I'm going to input output. I'm paste here and double time paste. Okay. So this is the one like this student is publishing. This flow service is publishing universal messaging with that document. This document. So on the receiver side, I'm using the same document type to subscribe message. Okay, so this one is in the handler we created. Okay, and the input I will say like no, I will print some messages received or not. Okay, so flow service flow debug log. What I'm doing is here I will write my message something like no. Hello, received a message. Okay, just given this one, saved it, and then what I'm doing is this is handler. Now I will create a trigger. So WebMethods messaging trigger. I create a messaging trigger. So I'm selecting my handler, which is which is now created. Document. I'm just selecting student document. This is everyone knows this one. Okay, created. So I will go and insert one more record. Okay, to my student table. Okay, inserted. So if everything works right, okay, so this will receive the message. This handler will print the message. What message they will print? It prints this message. Hello, received message. I will go to my berry tail. So some error is coming. That's why it is not showing. Okay.